All right, let's dive into a story that really gets at a fundamental choice we all have to make. Are you someone who constantly strives, always pushing for more? Or do you seek peace and stillness? This powerful parable lays out those two paths, and it really makes you wonder, what is the right way to live?
Okay, so picture this. The sun's just gone down and everything's bathed in that kind of purple twilight glow. You're standing at a desolate crossroads, and right away you know this isn't just any old intersection. This is a place of decision, a fork in the road where two completely different lives begin. Looking one way, you see a smooth, paved road. It gently slopes down towards this perfect-looking city. It's clean, it's quiet, you can see the warm lights twinkling. It's just humming with contentment. You get the sense that this is the path to safety, to peace, to finally being done. But then you look the other way, and wow, it couldn't be more different. It's this rough, treacherous track, and it's climbing straight up into a dark mountain where you can literally see a storm brewing. This isn't the easy way. This is the path of struggle, of ambition, the path of the never-ending climb. And right there, at the crossroads, we meet our two main characters. First, there's the Soothsayer. He's just resting. Totally comfortable. He's all about finding that unconditional rest. And then, stumbling down from the mountain, is the Ascendant. He looks absolutely exhausted, but you can see this fire in his eyes. He represents that raw will to keep climbing, no matter what it takes. And yeah, their huge disagreement is pretty much the whole point of this story. So, it's the Soothsayer who breaks the silence, and you can almost hear the pity in his voice as he looks at this struggling climber. He basically just asks him, why? Why are you doing this to yourself? See, from his perspective, this climb isn't noble at all. It's a trap. It's just an endless cycle of effort that never actually gets you anywhere, and certainly doesn't bring you any peace. He even has a name for it, the cruelest command. And that's really the heart of his argument, right? This constant nagging pressure we put on ourselves to always be becoming something else, something more. He's saying that's not a good thing. It's a heavy burden, promising a finish line that you can never ever cross. But the Ascendant, his comeback is incredible. He's not just climbing for a trophy or something. He says he follows the gospel of Earth. His whole philosophy is that, hey, no one handed us a purpose from the heavens, so it's up to us. It's our duty to forge our own meaning right here on the ground with our own two hands. So what exactly is this gospel of Earth? Well, it boils down to a few key ideas. First, forget looking for meaning up in the stars. You got to create it yourself right here. Second, life isn't about just existing. It's all about that restless upward striving, the act of becoming. And he sees all of humanity as this perilous bridge, something stretched between what we are and what we could be. The Soothsayer? Yeah, he's not buying it. He just calmly replies that this whole search for meaning is just a frantic distraction. And he uses this amazing metaphor. He says, you think you're a bridge, but you're not. You're just a spinning top. Think about that. Tons of energy, spinning like crazy, but ultimately stuck in one spot, going absolutely nowhere. So for the Soothsayer, this whole philosophy is a trap with three parts. Part one, the striving itself is just a heavy burden you're forcing yourself to carry. Part two, even when you reach a goal, you don't get peace. You just get what he calls a plateau of exhaustion, a quick breather before you realize there's another mountain to climb. And part three, the loop never ever finishes. Okay, so if the Ascendant's creative frenzy is just a big trap, what's the alternative? Well, the Soothsayer has an answer. He calls it self-undergoing. And the idea is pretty radical. He says real freedom, true freedom, isn't about finding or creating a purpose. It's about being set free from the obligation to even have one. Let's dig into that for a second. Self-undergoing. It's this ideal state of ultimate freedom, and you get there by just letting go. Letting go of that constant need to ask why. It's about an existence that doesn't need to be justified by goals or achievements. It just is. And the Soothsayer has the perfect metaphor for this, a stone. I mean, think about it. A stone is totally finished, right? It's already arrived. It isn't trying to become anything else. It just exists. No why needed. It is the absolute embodiment of unconditional rest. Whoa. The Ascendant's reaction to this is fiery, to say the least. He hears this invitation to be a stone, and he doesn't see peace. He sees a comfortable grave. He completely rejects that idea. And he throws back his own metaphor. He says, no, I'd rather be an arrow in flight, launched toward a horizon that I have to create. And there it is. That's the heart of the whole debate, isn't it? The arrow versus the stone. The arrow is all about movement, purpose, and aiming for something. The stone is about being still, complete, and without purpose. It's the will to build going head-to-head with the peace of being. But you can only talk for so long. Eventually, you have to choose. And as it gets darker, the Soothsayer makes his choice. He just gets up and starts walking toward those warm, inviting lights of the city. He chooses comfort. He chooses security over the storm. And the Ascendant, he makes his choice too. He looks at that city, what he calls the soft pillows of safety, and he turns his back on it. He turns right back around, faces those jagged, stormy peaks, and just starts climbing again. Back into the pain, back into the struggle. This whole massive debate can really be summed up with one last metaphor: the river or the reservoir. Think about it. Do you want to be the reservoir, still, contained, complete? Or do you want to be the river, always moving, restless, defined by your journey toward an ocean you haven't even reached yet? And after they both walk away, there's nothing left at the crossroads but the wind. And you can hear it whistling over that perilous bridge that the Ascendant was talking about. It's such a powerful final image because it leaves you with this thought. Maybe you can't cross the bridge of life by just standing still. So the story just drops this unavoidable choice right in our laps. If standing still isn't really an option, then you have to move. So, which way do you go? Do you head for the mountain or for the city? The question for you, for all of us, is, are you the river or are you the reservoir?